Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you're all having a great day.
Indeed, we do.
We had a lovely day. We did a chart with about a 7-year listener today. Wesley, it was a pleasure.
It was really fun, Wesley. We hope to hear from you again soon.
Absolutely. Again, all information is on all videos as far as making appointments and what we do, etc., etc., etc. So thank you guys for your support over at Patreon as well. Now we have yet another train carrying toxic hazardous materials that has derailed North Dakota. I shouldn't say North Carolina. That's automatic with me. But North Dakota, 29 cars of a CPKC train derailed about 3:45 a.m. area surrounded by farmlands about 140 miles northwest of Fargo. The cars were carrying ammonia, sulfur, and methanol. And so, again, this is right in the middle of farmland. Seems like everything and anything that could possibly be done to cut down on the ability to feed the planet has been implemented, let's say. You have a U.S. 2-star general found dead after returning from Ukraine. 59-year-old William Mullen was found dead at Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center in California. We'll see if we could get more info as this develops. You know, again, 59, it's not too old, but, you know, in these times we see a lot of people leaving suddenly.
It's really unfortunate. It's horrible. That's what it is.
Sita agrees, and she's in the background agreeing. Listen to the words of Keir Starmer. Now, again, elections, it was a big landslide victory for Keir Starmer and his Labour Party. And so let us listen to the words he chooses to use in his speech.
And it is surely clear to everyone that our country needs a bigger reset.
Did you hear what he said?
And it is surely clear to everyone that our country needs a bigger reset.
As you see, this is David Icke bringing this up. A bigger reset. That tells you all you need to know.
I think so.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, NATO is fearing that France may leave if the National Rally wins. Well, you know, again, there's been a lot of elections, and Marine Le Pen and her right-wing party won the first round of elections in France. So, you know, it's we're in that time, and you're seeing changes come, and the Galactic Federation has word about all the changes that are going on the planet, because, you know, this is a very, very fluid situation. And somebody made the comment, yes, it does seem like we're past plan A, B, and C, and we're probably more on F at this point. Well, that's kind of what we got from the Galactic Fed, and I'm going to play for you in a few moments the message that we got from them as Cindy went and channeled it. So over here you see a use of gators in Florida. Did you know that they could open cans? Yeah, very helpful little creatures, aren't they?
They're evolving so quickly.
See, there are uses you could have for reptilians.
Yeah, there's one.
Kind of crazy. I think most people would look at that as crazy, but yeah, absolutely. Now this is something. This is the old days. This is baby formula in the old days. Bring in the sheep, and there's the baby, and there you go. And you know what? There's no high fructose corn syrup. There's no GMO soy. There's no, this dye and that dye, and throw a little aspartame, a little sucralose in there. All these things that destroy health. No. This might be an illegal act in some places, and this is where the system is truly being exposed for what it is.
I know, and you know, I was a mom that was still somewhat in the system. I got really lucky because when it comes to the V word and my children, I was actually, most of the doctor's appointments, something happened and I couldn't make them. So I was lucky in that sense. Most of my children weren't really that didn't happen to them. But I do feel bad because I was still asleep when it came to formula. I was all about the nutrition and everything, and I was just still asleep when it came to the formula. And as a parent, when your kids grow up and maybe sometimes they don't do well, but that's just being human, you're so quick as a mom to just blame yourself. It's like, gosh, I could have done better. I didn't know this, and now this is happening, and you tend to blame yourself. But, don't do that. Don't do what I do. Don't beat yourself up. If you are a parent and you did your very best, that's what matters. The children are going to matter. They're going to remember what was in the heart.
Okay, so now without further ado, I will play for you the message that we got from the Galactic Federation. This is again Cindy channeling. It was kind of in partial trance for the most part, but then at points she went deeper in. So here we go. Specifically, we were looking for information on just that. Is this plan F, G, Z? What's going on? Lots of buzz about big events in this month. And of course, everybody's concerned with hurricanes and war and tsunamis and astrological alignments of the big giant gas planets. Yeah, there's all sorts of things that are in store in 2024. So we touched on all that.
They're showing me a ladder, and humans are going to step up on that ladder of consciousness. It's going to be something palatable for most. Most people will see it. And this is during that big shift of the planets, where the magnetic energy fields are going to change for a lot of people. Consciousness is going to move up. People are going to try harder to do better. They're going to step more into their power. They're going to connect more into higher self. They're going to do a better job at doing life. This will also give guides and angels and ancestors the ability to help people in the 3D more, help those that are walking this journey. So it's across the board a stepping up of the ladder. Dare I say, even Earth, her consciousness is going to go up, and our consciousness is going to go up. These are things that we can expect to see during that planetary alignment and moving up to it. So the sun is a little bit sleepy, but anything could happen at any moment. The sun can be very sporadic. Earth seems to be in more of an accepting phase right now. So if we do have action with the sun, the Earth will be more affected by it. She's not going to be blocking it as much. So we can expect to see that. But if she's accepting information from the sun, that means we're also accepting of information of the sun, bringing us up in vibration. So we have several things happening when it comes to consciousness and moving up the conscious ladder. Even those who are going to war or in war, they're going to be more conscious of what they're doing. They're going to do the best they can to make things as smooth as possible wherever they're at. I can see where there'd be soldiers working with people, even police officers working with people. There's going to be more of a coming together of humanity. So these energetic changes are really significant in many ways. If you're not awake to it, it's still going to be noticed. You're just simply not awake to it, but people are going to find themselves trying to do better in their day-to-day lives. And this is what the consciousness shifts, changes look like across the board. Is everyone's going to just simply going to try to do better. Like I said, the sun could give off a pretty good sneeze, and for people to be prepared for anything, because Earth is in more of a receptive state for the sun's energy. That makes for higher consciousness levels, more psychic abilities, more more alignments happening in your life. So the magnetic shifts, though, are the big ones with this big planetary alignment. I don't see any big tsunamis. That's not going to happen in a natural way. If there are big tsunamis, those are not from the earth. Those are going to be from controllers who are desperate to hold on to control because they understand what's going on. They know that they're losing control, so that's when they might try to do something nasty with the tsunamis or deliberately set off the volcanoes. And Earth does have some say in that. She doesn't have to just allow these things to happen. She can push back to a degree, but not fully. So we have to have some compassion there and understand that she is doing her best with what she's got. So I think changes like these probably going fairly quickly over the next 6 months. Magnetic changes, energetic changes, higher connections with higher self, stronger relationships, evolving to a next level, trust being developed, traumas being healed, and this is going to allow people to expand their consciousness as well. So this is the information coming from the Galactics, what they see probably in the next 6 months as far as human evolution is concerned and what we can expect. The controllers are stepping off scene, a lot of them, because they know there's not going to be a control, and this is part of the 11 to 15 year changeover in energy. So it's happening in increments, and it's going to be slow, and we simply need to stay steady in our endeavors and stay strong and continue to be the best we can be.
So from what you were saying, then it does seem that the Earth was being resistant to the sun's energy before and holding off triggering any of the bigger quake activity?
Oh, she was, yeah. She's not going to make herself put herself in a receptive state unless her children are also ready to be in a receptive state, which humans are now. So the energies from that planetary alignment, they're incoming now. They're very, very strong. And opening heart chakras and opening human consciousness, raising it up. So she is putting herself in a receptive state. And that's important to note because some people might see these as, like, if the sun does do anything major, there might be some challenges. I don't see any widespread wipeout of technology, but I do see humans, if you're not cleansed and if you're not working on your physical bodies and being clear, that can cause things like flu-like symptoms and cause people to get sick. Now, the controllers might take a situation like this, if it happens, and call it a, we have to do something about this nasty variant, you know?
Yeah.
So they might take advantage of that, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be about humans evolving. So sometimes physically that shows itself as traumas and blocks being removed can have a physical effect as well. So we'll be learning all of this. It's like going to be a really long course on understanding your body's energy. So each person having their own course and having their own understanding, depending on how much you understand about energy, is going to depend on how much you really know about what's going on with you and other people.
The warming that we saw in the oceans, specifically in the Atlantic Ocean, with that anomaly that appeared between Africa, South America, and Antarctica, was then some sort of technology artificially inducing the warming?
It is, and what I can see, what they're showing me, is there's something under there with propellers. It has propellers, so it's propelling the water, heating the water, and this is old technology that they don't suspect is going to be able to remain for much longer. They don't think that, they think that, yeah, it's going to have some success in creating some grief, but not a lot.
And this is just to push their global warming, climate change agenda.
They're going to take any tools that they have available and utilize them, including this old technology. I am seeing it not working. I am seeing it crumble, but it's in their nature to try. So.
Do you see anything that they have planned with the whole election process in the U.S.?
I can see computers glitching. I can see AI making big mistakes. I can see people in an uproar, but mostly I see issues coming on with the computers and a lot of he said, she said, finger pointing. But of course, this is all deliberate to cause the chaos, to get humans to not focus on themselves.
And do you see any sort of, there's mentioning of an event sometime in July. Cliff High was seeing some sort of anomaly, and Joni Petrie was picking up on astrological alignments that are reminiscent of Pearl Harbor. Mm-hmm. Do you see anything like that?
So it does seem that there is going to be some disturbance on Earth's surface. They're telling me to keep in mind it's as above, so below. So this means there's going to be disturbance on other dimensions, other levels, meaning like a rough change in hands. There's some kind of a change in hands when it comes to even higher dimensions, and it's not going, they don't anticipate that it's going to go really smooth. They feel this ripple effect is going to come down to the 3D. Now, how much of that are we going to see depends on your ability to see. So if you're one who can see into the ether and see the drama, then you'll probably see these other races of aliens causing harm to each other or trying to hold on to their titles. Seems like that's this scurry that we're going to see, and it is going to come down to humans also being in a state of like fight or flight. So everything affects everything else. Just because we don't see it in that dimension doesn't mean that it's not going to affect us. So we should probably brace for, not sure, just chaos in the middle of July. Yeah.
We were looking at something that one of our Patreons, Robbie, had sent, and it was John Levy who was talking about different craters that they say were caused by meteors in the Pahrump area, and the channel had mentioned that she had seen underground bombing take place and was flying over it and seeing craters start that way. But this change that happened in the American West, and in particular looking at the Great Cascadian Quake in 1700 that they say was over 9.0 magnitude, along with the evidence of sponges and shells and the desert around Amargosa and that gigantic impact that happened in Arizona, south of Winslow. How long ago, time-wise, how many human generations ago was the American West and Southwest in particular totally different and perhaps occupied with a high technologically advanced civilization? Was it, how many typical lifespans of a human in this time period are we talking about?
Well, they're not able to tell in years because the years change as time moves forward. They are able to speak to cycles. So the most previous cycle, this has been all about stabilizing this land and stabilizing the earth, but the cycle previous to that, and when I say cycles, they're showing me those are like whole Kali Yugas, because when we are in seems to be Bronze Age, and in the age
of bronze, yes.
Yeah, there's changes to the land, and these are when so-called cataclysms can happen, but they're happening to create change. They're happening to create advancement. So through a human lens, it's going to look catastrophic, but to an evolutionary lens, it's going to show people pushing themselves and making themselves stronger, better, faster. So cyclically, we're speaking that a lot of what you're talking about happened the cycle before last. This last cycle is about stabilizing. This cycle is more stabilizing.
So then are we heading back into a period of great cataclysm, or are we still working to stabilize since the last set?
It's not going to be completely smooth. So there is going to be some issues with the weather and the land. This is all revolving around evolution. It's not going to be really bad. It's not going to be really good. This is going to be about pushing human limitations, it looks like, probably in this life, but not guaranteed.
So challenges ahead, but no complete end of the world scenario.
No, I don't see that. And when we're talking about end of the world scenarios, we're looking at big things happening, but they happen for the benefit of evolution and strengthening. So it's like we have it backwards. We think that huge tsunamis and the earth breaking apart and coming together are bad things, but they're not. She's always improving herself, ever moving toward this, what people call like 5D, or, a crystalline world. She's ever pushing herself toward that. So when we do see big things happen, we have it backwards. It's about making us better, not destroying us in accordance to the earth. Now, there is the other side of it where the controllers do take advantage, and they will bring harm to humans so that they can remain in control. But as we move forward and the earth continues to get stronger, their efforts start to fail and weaken and become less productive for them. And that's where we're going now.
And you said some are knowingly taking a step away from public eye because they see what's coming.
They do know and see what's coming. They've been told by. There's ancient writings. There's records that have been kept through different crystals. Crystals keep the records. The record keepers. That's what I want to call them. They're record keepers, and there are specific entities that can read these records, and also information gets out to certain people, of the human race, and the human race, they tell other people who are in controlling fields so that they know to step away because their efforts are going to be strained, and it's almost like a waste of their life to continue on and try to stay in control.
Should we let the channel go?
Yeah, she's starting to slip.
Okay, so I hope that you guys were able to hear that well and got something from it. So again, the alignment of the gas giants, we don't get that it's going to cause cataclysm. It's going to cause conscious evolution. It's going to cause an even greater awakening. Now, if there is a cataclysm, that was the controllers triggering it.
They will do that if they see it's going to benefit them. But mostly the focus should be on us. The focus should be on our bodies, our own consciousness, and those around us. So this is a really great opportunity to work on that mind, body, breath practice and understand that all the world's a stage and there's a lot of things to watch. There's a lot of entertainment out there, but you are the number one player. You are the most important thing. Everything that's happening out there in the world is for your development, and you can pick and choose what you want to bring into your energy sphere to develop yourself. And there is no judgment in that. Maybe you do like politics. Maybe you do like horse races. Maybe you like football. Whatever it is, it's your development. This is your journey. Just don't let the controllers take it from you.
Yeah, I think the changeover in governments is part of them desperately trying to buy time. That's really all it is. But it's the whole system that has to go, as we've been saying for 7 years. It's not going to be the system. You're not going to see the same system in, say the middle of the Bronze Age, or certainly not in the Silver or the Golden Ages. We don't have systems like this. There is no taxation. There is no competitiveness of a negative nature that pits one against the other. In other words, there's no Darwinian evolution, survival of the fittest. No, it's a whole change in the way we view things, and instead it's a striving towards the betterment of the whole. And we're already starting to go into that.
Mm-hmm. And I hope it helped people. The information I get comes in visions and spurts, and I do my absolute best to give that information instant, because it does come instant. There's really no time to think about it or weigh it. It just comes out. So it's like reading a storyboard, and I do the very best I can. So hopefully that brings some understanding to people, and there will be more. I know I've gone kind of on a little bit of a hiatus, but I needed it because I'm going on my own healing journey as well. And sometimes channeling can bring about other things. When you raise your consciousness up to greet these other beings, you're going up in vibration. That means other things, they have to drop down. So that means you have to face some things. So channeling can have its own challenges, but I am getting better, and it was really wonderful to get information today and bring it to you guys. And hopefully you got something out of it.
Yes, we look forward to your comments. Again, please do share your comments, share your voice, share what you want to see more of. And, we're just appreciative of you guys being here on this journey with us. Much love, source bless, and namaste.
Namaste.